Oh, you now?
Now.
Kevin.
I know I started counting.
Yeah, you went
and then
3?
I said now.
Now. That's not how that works. You can't
This
do
is
that.
how you know. That's how I failed my interview for NASA.
You want to be the countdown person,
I was
Kevin?
going to be at mission control doing the launch pad,
10,
and I went
9,
3,
8, launch.
now. Mission fail.
We actually hate that guy, Houston. This isn't a roller coaster, and you keep saying buckle up.
John,
I'm glad you're enjoying this.
I'm having a great.
Your ability
do you
to
even
not
want
count.
to talk about anything now, or do you just want to do the fucking podcast?
I mean, I like it when we just do the podcast.
Let's just do the podcast.
That's what we're here for.
Are you ready to do the podcast?
Energy is high. We just recorded
Hey.
a Magnum Opus video, which is going to probably come out, next weekend when this comes out?
Yeah.
Probably, maybe? I
Yep.
don't know. It's coming out soon. When
Yep.
I get to it.
Yep.
And
Yep.
a lot of jokes, a lot of silliness. It's hard to take anything
Beginning
serious.
the podcast in 5, 4.
Now.
All right.
Let's clap.
You ready to clap?
Sure.
3, 2, 1. Welcome
On time,
back to
every
another
time.
episode. Yeah, that's right.
I got you.
No, do it again. Hold on. 3, 2, 1.
On time every time.
Hold on. No, hold on. Wait. 3 now.
3 on time every time.
On time every time. Welcome back to another episode of the UnPop podcast. I'm your host, Capitan Papi, todo siempre, Kevin Miner, he, him. With me as always is.
We're floating on a rock through space, and when you think about it, everything is meaningless. Odie Matthews.
Wow, still
Baby.
nihilistic. Odie Matthews, back for some more of that. We love it.
What's the point,
Eat
Kevin?
it up, yum yum.
What's the point? One day this
What's
is
the
all going to
point?
go away. Our podcast will no longer exist. The files will be
Yep.
lost to time.
Yep.
And it won't matter. So what's the point?
To enjoy it in the present.
I'll tell you the point.
I'll
I'll tell you the point. It's to get a sponsorship from
By who?
Bass Pro, so we can all be dressed out in camo.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
You like Bass Pro?
I mean, I was
Fucking
gonna say
nerd.
like it would be like way cooler to get one from like Fruit by the Foot or Danimals or Dunkaroos even.
Okay,
Dunkaroos would be sick.
Dunkaroos, if you're listening,
We would like to be sponsored. Dunkaroos.
we can call them Unpoparoos.
I bet there's, you know what? I bet there's
Unpoparoos.
like a
Genius.
Unpoparoos. I bet there's like a cooler, more natural chocolate alternative to that now that we could probably get sponsored by.
Yeah, but it's probably
Called
made with,
I don't know, like adult chocolate dippers.
It's probably like made with like sunflower oil and fucking wheatgrass or something stupid.
I would love that.
You would love that. You know what else you would
You
love,
know
Kevin?
I would. What?
We'd also love some news.
I would love some news. Thank you, please.
You're welcome.
Please.
It's my Gandalf. You're
You're welcome.
The One
for
Ring
your-
of News.
You tell me you have not watched The Lord of the Rings without telling me you have not watched.
I've
The Lord
watched
of
them
the Rings.
all one time.
Yep. Yeah. You definitely don't remember it because that's not what he sounds like.
Yes, he does. He's like, Frodo.
No, he doesn't.
No, Frodo, I need to stop Magneto. Or I am Magneto.
What's the news?
I don't know. Is the buffer
Hit
done?
me.
You always yell at me when I do too soon.
Oh. I mean, it could have been earlier, but
It
I'll do
could've.
it now.
You can do it whenever.
If you want.
It's up to you.
I'll do it again.
Hey, you're the captain. You pick.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, baby. It's the UnPop News coming at you fresh and hot from the command deck of the SS Marlon Brando. Let's see what this week had in store.
Go.
Kevin,
Now.
do you want to go on a quest
Yeah.
and have a vision?
I would love that.
Maybe a vision quest?
I would love that.
How do you feel about the Vision Quest trailer that came out at D23?
You know, I really like it. Look, the WandaVision was fun and different. Agatha All Along was amazing, and I hope Vision Quest keeps on par with that, if not better. You know what I mean? Like, I hope it's on par with Agatha All Along or better.
And they're calling it a trilogy. So
They are.
WandaVision and Agatha are like the first two, and this is like the third like wrap up of the Vision, Scarlet Witch, Agatha, Aubrey Plaza's there quest.
I would really like to see another season of Agatha All Along. I think that was probably my favorite, like, didn't expect it to be good Marvel show, you know?
Also, I like that in WandaVision, it's the family, so you get both of the kids. And then in Agatha, you get one of the sons. And now it looks like in Vision Quest, we're getting the other son. So it's kind of like a nice... I do like the way they've structured this. And obviously, the biggest and best reveal about Vision Quest, which we already knew because I think we talked about it on the news a while back, but James Spader is coming back as Ultron, but not in robot form, in a human avatar with a big bushy beard.
He's back. It's going to be great.
This looks really fun because so here's, and I didn't mention this, and I meant to mention this last week, and I didn't. I meant to mention this when we talked about Spider-Man, and I forgot.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a couple gripes with Spider-Man now. In hindsight. Because it still didn't answer the one thing that I wanted to know, which was how did Kingpin take over New York and start an anti-vigilante task force? And Spider-Man was either, not there? It happened after Spider-Man. It happened before. Like, there's a big question. There's a big gap there. Because, like, Punisher's there.
Yeah, it kind of feels like they're treating the Daredevil show the same way that, like, Marvel just treats Iron Man 3 overall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, they're just like, yeah, that happened, but like we're ignoring it. Don't worry about it.
Because Spider-Man was in New York for 4 years taking out villains, and then it ends with the Jean Grey story. So it's like if Daredevil takes place after this, it doesn't make sense for the Punisher. And if it takes place before this, it doesn't make sense for Spider-Man. I think that's bothering me.
Definitely takes place after Punisher: The Last Kill.
Definitely.
And then like that takes place
after
Daredevil. So like, you're right. Like, I guess Spider-Man was just really focused on like Tombstone and the Shocker and everybody, you know,
the comic book villains.
Like people are like, hey, there's an anti-vigilante task force. He's like, I don't care. I gotta capture these guys.
They can't stop me.
I'm working with the chief over here, the chief detective. Come on, we got this.
Spider-Man was like, I'm not a blind guy who can't like see. I can fight the anti-vigilante task force. I'm not blind.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
exactly.
And Daredevil was like, what?
Exactly.
But yeah, Vision Quest, I think this looks cool. It takes place like a lot in his mind. I like the idea of exploring this character who has all these like memories of who he is, but it's not who he is. And I hope he shows up in I don't again. We'll talk about Doomsday like briefly here in a second, but like, I think it's beneficial if not everybody shows up in Doomsday, and some characters like Spider-Man, like Vision, maybe a couple others, we wait till Secret Wars. I think, especially speaking of Spider-Man, like, I think I would enjoy it a lot more if he shows up in Secret Wars with the other two Spider-Man again. And he goes, oh my God, I remember you guys. Like, I've seen you guys before, you know? But anyways, Vision Quest looks good. It looks fun. James Spader seems like he's having a ball. Paul Bettany is awesome. I love that Paul Bettany started off just as the voice of Jarvis in 2008. And here, almost 20 years later, he starred in movies and now his own TV show. Like, it's really nice to see.
Yeah. Listen. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for Paul Bettany. He's always great. He actually plays one of my favorite Star Wars villains. Yep. I love James Spader, and I love that we're getting a different take on James Spader in this, because James Spader in the Ultron movie was very one note, and that didn't feel like that was him necessarily making that choice as an actor, but like kind of the way that they just wanted Ultron to be. Like, Ultron is supposed to be maniacal, but not like mustachioed villain, not like a and that's kind of what he was. Like, the whole movie's like,
he's too funny.
There's more of me now. Yeah, and like, so to get this like variable and more diverse version of that character, I think is just going to be fun and amazing. And it kind of goes along with what I was saying. Like, Agatha all along was surprisingly good, but it's because Catherine Hahn came in and just knocked it out of the park, you know?
Definitely.
You know, Patti LuPone comes in with, like, there's these dynamic characters that in these shows have space to breathe in a way that they don't in the movies. And that's why I'm so upset that we're not getting a season 2 of Agatha all along. I don't want to end it on a sour note, but that's where I'm at.
No, and I agree. I think, again, you know, it's hard with Marvel right now. And let's just talk briefly about this. We both watched.
Hard times for Marvel.
It's the Doomsday special look, a.k.a. another Doomsday trailer. I don't know why they're calling it a special look.
It's a trailer. I don't know why they're
definitely
calling it a trailer. Yeah, it's just a trailer.
And it's what we heard, and we didn't talk about this at the time because I don't like talking about leaks, and I definitely don't like watching trailers that were filmed on an iPhone in the back of a room. But this was the footage that they showed at Comic-Con. The special look is Sue Storm being like, Victor, who we all know and we've met in other movies, used to be the smartest guy in the room, and then he became evil, and then Mr. Fantastic is like, Victor, did you kill all these people, Victor? And it's like, oh, cool, like, we know all of this.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he
obviously.
did. Yeah, we know this moment.
And
this goes into, like, kind of what I was saying. Like, I feel like this movie, Doomsday, is for the people who have become Marvel fans in the past decade. Not for people who have been reading and watching since they were children from, like, the 90s and early 2000s. I feel like this is for the people who, like, jumped in somewhere mid phase 2, phase 3 and have, like, been along for the ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it feels like. And I'm not mad about it, but I'm definitely like, oh, this might not hit for me, you know?
And I think I see your point on that. I think for me it's a little different because, and not that I'm excited, I feel like, and Kevin Feige said, and we might have mentioned this on the podcast before, but that, you know, he was like, everyone was talking about how Thanos had this, like, big buildup, and he was like, but he really didn't when you think about it. And he's like, and I'm like, okay, you're right. Like, Thanos as a villain didn't pop up periodically. Like, he was in a couple post-credit scenes and, like, had a little bit of emphasis in one of the Guardian movies, but the thing that made Thanos' build-up feel organic was the inclusion of the Infinity Stones and the Infinity Gauntlet, and knowing that that's what we were building to. Doom is clearly building towards Battle World, where he takes all these variants and keeps them on one planet and, like, tries to wipe out other universes, but, like, that not only felt wrapped up in Loki, but after Loki, there was no real touch on it anymore, so it's not... Yeah. It's not that Doom wasn't built up, because I'm truthfully fine with Dr. Doom just showing up as the villain in an Avengers movie with no, like, real prior inclusion, but his motivations
I'm okay with that.
should have been built up. The reason he's doing it wasn't built up, and that's my problem. If you want a good villain, you need to have their motivations and, like, their goals clear, and to introduce the villain and those motivations and his goals all at once, that doesn't work for me as a moviegoer. And I like this Avengers lineup, and I like all the inclusion of the people that we're seeing. And, you know, we'll talk about the X-Men casting here in a second. But, like, I just don't know why. Not that I don't know why. I just can't seem to get myself hyped. And it's not just Marvel. I realize that, like, I'm excited for Lanterns, and I'm excited for Clayface, but, like, I'm just not excited for, like, superhero movies, I guess.
Well, listen, like, if I were to hand you a stack of just random Marvel comics from throughout the ages, right? Which is what these movies are based on. They're based on the comics. And some of the most hardcore fans of these movies are hardcore fans of the comic franchises, right? So, like, if I were to just hand you, like, a stack of random Marvel comics, there's probably gonna be some that you don't like.
Yeah.
And that's, like, and so we're looking at these movies through the lens and expectation that we would give to other franchise movies that tend to just kind of, like, hit the franchise. Like, I'd hate to compare it to it, but, like, Fast and the Furious, you know, like, all of the, like, these franchises that keep hitting the franchise notes. And so the franchise fans keep showing up. But Marvel comics are so vastly different, and they're so variable. You know, there's new writers, there's new people who are, like, writing the actual story for the comic. There's new people who are animating the comic. There's new people, not animating, new people who are illustrating, the comics. And then there are people who come along and they help structure the story differently. So, like, there are Spider-Man comics that even some of the most hardcore Spider-Man fans are like, yeah, that one's not that great for me. And that's the crazy risk reward that you run with doing movies like this. The only thing I'll say about Dr. Doom, and like the way that we've built up to it is, yeah, we didn't have the consistency that we had with Thanos. Like Thanos, when he was first teased, it was like, oh shit, that's where we're going.
Yeah.
You know, there was no moment like that a couple years ago where it's like, oh shit, that's where we're going. It was kind of like a surprise. Here it is now. And with that happening on the heels of multiple failed projects in like phase 4, I would say it's just the impact isn't as great as it could have been. And that's another reason where like another reason why I think it's okay to kind of go into this and be like, all right, this is for a different Marvel fan for sure. I'm probably going to find some things that I like about this movie. I'm going to enjoy it. Like I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of stuff in this movie that I enjoy. And especially a lot of character stuff, right? But, like, I think it's okay to go, this might not be the comic book movie for me, you know?
I think this is going to be obviously a good movie, and I don't want that to get mixed up. Because, like, yeah, it's going to be good. It looks good. It's just, I'm not...
We're hoping it's good.
And we've talked about this before, but, like, you know, it's coming out the same day as Dune Part 3. And without fail, no questions asked, I would rather go see Dune Part 3. If it was, like, one or the other... It's not really a competition for me. I'd rather see Dune Part 3.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Because Dune Part 3 also is getting the IMAX theaters, so Avengers Doomsday isn't.
Well, and that goes back into what I was saying. Like, Dune, what's Dune? It's the singular franchise. It's the singular IP, right? Like that's actually probably an even better comparison than Fast and the Furious. Maybe I just made that comparison for you. But Dune, like, cool, it's Dune 3. This is Avengers, but different Avengers than what you're used to, and possibly different multiverse scenario. You know, like, Dune isn't doing that. Dune is like, hey, and now we continue the story. Yeah. So, like, it's easier to be more hyped about something like that because you're like, oh, shit, where are we going next? You know, this one, it's like, we've been all over the multiverse. We've seen every version of you guys. You know, like, what are we doing now? All right,
exactly.
Fine.
And, I mean, I guess with that, let's talk about the X-Men casting because...
Let's talk about it because I actually am pretty hyped about this. I think this is good. I think a lot of the casting for X-Men is good. Go ahead and start listing them, and I'll interact with it. Odie, hit it.
Okay, well, obviously, first and foremost, we've already talked about Sadie Sink.
Yay, Jean Grey.
Jean Grey.
Great. Yep.
We're loving
that.
Kit Connors is Cyclops.
Totally fine with that. I think I'm okay with like you could have been like any younger actor is playing Cyclops, and I'd be like, yeah, that's fine, because like I don't care about Cyclops.
No, because he's ruined in the first 3 movies of X-Men. Like Cyclops is done so dirty.
Cyclops, he has like the curse of like the team leader, where it's like, yeah, like there's gonna be like a certain number of people who think the team leader is cool no matter what because he's the team leader. But then you have like people like you and I'm gonna lump you in with me, but we're more of like, we like the quirky side character or the person who's interesting and going on side quests. Like, we're not a main team leader fan. So like, I think. You tell me, like, whoever you're casting, you could have been like, Taylor Lautner is going to be Cyclops, and I would be like, fine, whatever, I don't care.
But that would have sucked. Be honest with you. But yeah, so Cyclops just doesn't get enough play. Well, those first 3 X-Men movie, they're just way too focused on Wolverine, and he's not the main character in like X-Men most of the time. But whatever.
No, he's not.
So we got those, and then no shocker, Indy Neverett is playing Rogue, and we knew she was in talks for somebody. We thought it was going to be Mystique, but Rogue is, I think, a better choice.
Well, so she had actually mentioned that she would love to play Mystique, but this is where I think this is good casting. Going back into, and this is a little like, put your tinfoil hat on for a second with me. So like, this goes back to like what I keep saying. So like, you've got this focus on gene mutation that keeps coming up. What does Rogue do?
She absorbs it.
She absorbs mutation, but she also can
power.
neutralize. Well, she can neutralize gene mutation in people. She can suppress their gene mutation by touching them. So I think we're going to be leaning, like, they keep saying mutant saga, but I think that's where we're going to lean. Is she's going to be a very important character, and if not right away, they're going to build up her importance. So I think it's really great that they cast this brand new actress who absolutely has knocked it out of the park in Obsession this year and became an overnight success. But really it was her performance that knocked it out of the
yeah.
park, because that movie is so low budget that it's all performance based. Like there was nothing to hide behind for her. So knowing that she has this acting prowess and she's coming in as this character who I think will either be important or be built up to be a very important character is a good sign.
And it's nice because what I'm seeing already, and we'll keep going through the list, but
yeah,
I'm going to be revisiting, and I can't believe I'm going to do this. This is going to be the biggest video I've ever made for Magnum Opus.
Yay! The biggest video. Hold on.
Yay! It's like 2 years away, so I'll probably start it next year, but I'm going to do X-Men 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
First Class, Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix. I'm going to do all of them.
Wow.
And then I'm going to do Deadpool, Deadpool 2, and Deadpool and Wolverine. And then I'm going to try to tack on the Wolverine trilogy. I'm going to try to do every X-Men movie that's ever been released as one gigantic 2-part video when this comes out. And I've already started my research for it because I want to get ahead of it because it's going to take me a year to edit that for sure.
Yeah.
But one thing that I've noticed about the first 3 X-Men from the mid-2000s, Cyclops takes a back seat. Storm does absolutely nothing in those movies except for say what happens when a toad gets struck by lightning. The same thing as everything else.
Yeah.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah, they did our girl Halle Berry dirty
for real
on that.
until Days of Future Past. But then Nightcrawler's in X-Men 2 and then disappears without any reason or why or mention. Professor X
did our boy Alan Cumming real dirty on that.
Professor X gets sidelined, which is kind of like an X-Men thing. So that doesn't bother me, but it does bother me that
they did our boy Patrick Stewart real dirty on that.
We get it. He goes out like a balloon in X-Men 3, and then Magneto changes sides every other movie, so he's not a consistent villain. And then the focus
they did
is
our
on
boy Ian McKellen real dirty on that.
Can I get through this? But then where I'm going with this is Rogue in those movies doesn't do any fucking thing.
No.
So I think this new cast.
I don't know if you saw True Blood. She continues to not do anything.
You having fun?
Yes.
Maya Boyd is playing Storm.
Yes.
I'm
super pumped. Here's the thing. I'm pumped about Storm, but it's because we're going to get Storm in Black Panther 3 before we get Storm in the X-Men. So that's fucking cool because for anybody who's big Deep Lore nerds here, Storm at one point is Queen of Wakanda.
And her with
I'm so excited.
What's his name? Johnson. Oh my god, the guy's playing the new Black
David
Panther.
Johnson.
David Johnson. Those two together are going to be great. She's brand new. She's only been in one thing. I love that.
Listen, I love the Black Panther universe. I will forever stand on my ground that Ryan Coogler has a hard time writing a third act, and it oftentimes will lessen the effect of a movie on me. That does not change the fact that the Black Panther universe itself, the little microcosm it exists in Marvel, is my favorite part of Marvel.
Yeah. No, and I think I think that Maya Boyd being brand new, what we've talked about, more unknowns.
So exciting.
Love that. Kit Connors, and a lot of these aren't unknowns, but Kit Connors is relatively new. Indy Neverett is relatively new to the zeitgeist. She was in a couple things that we've seen, Superman and Lois and a Bad Day Batista movie, not in the Lost Lands, a different one. And so then we've got Samara Weaving as Emma Frost, which she's a little bit older.
Yes.
That works. She's on the same age level as. Oh, go ahead.
That's good. I like Samara Weaving as Emma. That's good, visual casting. I look at her, I'm like, oh, yeah, you nailed it. Good job.
Visually, these are all fantastic because Emma Frost's age, so Samara Weaving's age, is almost the same, if not the same, as the guy who's playing Professor X. And I got to be honest, this is the one that did not tickle my potato the way I was hoping. And it's Christopher Abbott from the Wolfman movie, and he's also in Kraven the Hunter as
his brother?
A guy. He's a guy. No,
he's just a guy?
The Foreigner. He's the guy that can stare in your eyes and make you hallucinate, and then he kills you.
Oh, so he's already in Marvel, technically. He's in Sony
universe.
Marvel,
He's in Kraven. Which, he's having a ball
but I heard
in that
Kraven
movie.
might be making his way over to Marvel, too.
If Aaron Taylor Johnson comes over as Kraven, I will literally flip my shit because he's amazing as Kraven. That movie sucked, but he's amazing.
Here's what I would love about that. There's a whole big thing in the comic books between Kraven and Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and then also Kraven and Black Panther.
There's a Death of
I'm
Spider-Man comic where he kills him.
I know. I'm like, oh, are we gonna do the fucking thing, guys?
That actually
like,
would make sense because Kraven hunting Spider-Man is what I believe in one of the comic runs leads to the symbiote suit hitting Spider-Man.
Exactly.
But so
I'm so excited.
So Christopher Abbott as Professor X, he could surprise me, but I got to be honest. After seeing the Wolfman, I was like, I don't like this guy very much, and that's not his fault. But that movie's really bad.
I think that's on the movie.
I think so.
He did a good job. After watching that movie, I'm like, I don't think the acting's bad. I think like just the sequencing of the scenes and the way that the movie progresses doesn't give them a lot of room to be expressive as those characters, other than to accomplish the goal of each scene, and it feels a little bit like dampened by that.
I agree. And I mean, Christopher Abbott could surprise me. I mean, when we get like actual like set photos and I can see like a trailer where he's talking, because I just,
Well, it depends on how much they're even having Professor X do in this, because like we said,
I hope
they
a
did
lot.
our boy Patrick Stewart dirty. Well, they might not have him a lot in it. It might be like he's gathering everybody and then they go off and do their fucking thing and then they come back to him at the end and he's like, get ready for next time. Like, because like that is what he is in the comics sometimes. Sometimes he's just like, hey, I'm here at the beginning to tell you what you need to do. And then they come back later. It's like, well, I guess we've all learned something.
But I think that's where they messed up in the first X-Men. I think Professor X needs more play in the first movie, so when he sidelines in other movies, you go, oh man, I wish he was here. But if you sideline him off the gate, then it's like, well, I don't know anything about this new Professor X.
Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing. In the cartoon series, very often, what is he doing? He's in Cerebro. He's just
dies.
like chilling in his well, yeah, that too. But he's or gets kidnapped. But he's like chilling. He's really a damsel in distress. But like he's chilling in Cerebro, like helping them out from afar. He's like he's basically doing reconnaissance, and then like he'll reach out into the world and be like, you need to go to this building, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, good job, Professor X, you did it, bud.
Gene, use your powers, Gene. But okay, so here's what
you're stronger than you know. No, she knows how strong she is.
Before we get to the villain, I want to talk about who could potentially still be in the X-Men lineup, because here's who we're missing. We're missing.
Did we not cast Iceman yet? Because I heard Iceman and Angel.
I was going to say literally the first one I was going to say was Iceman.
Oh, sorry.
We're missing Iceman. We're missing Beast. We're missing a new Wolverine if we're going to get one. Yeah. We're missing Nightcrawler. We're missing Colossus. We're missing Kitty Pryde and Angel.
Okay, so
and not that we'll get all of these. I'm just saying these are X-Men.
Also Jubilee. We're missing Jubilee.
Oh, and Jubilee and
Jubilee. First off, Jubilee's fucking badass.
Oh, and we're missing Quicksilver.
Get a kick-ass Jubilee.
And big one though, Magneto. We're missing Magneto still.
Okay. Well, okay.
They're probably saving.
So, who knows? I don't. But like. Kitty Pryde, we're probably not going to get a ton of, I don't want to break your heart, but we're probably not going to get a ton of Kitty Pryde right away.
That sucks because she's really important in the comics in the Days of Future Past storyline, but whatever.
In the Days of Future Past, but we're not going to start there.
We might.
And then Jubilee, I think, would be really good to have in the beginning, but I don't know if they'll have a focus on her, but as we're going into what is being called the Mutant Saga, I think there's also space for them. I think what they're really doing is they're assembling this smaller, more tight-knit team, and then if it does well, because this is what Marvel does, they're going to go, all right, cool, well, who did well? Who do the audiences really resonate with? Let's develop that out. So like, I genuinely feel like they probably have like some extra scripts off to the side. They're like the Adventures of Jean Grey, and like,
but I will say,
Kevin,
you mentioned Quicksilver and you like did a hand motion, but remember Quicksilver. Oh wait, no, he's not. Never mind. Anyways, sorry. Oops, my bad.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Quicksilver.
I was gonna say something stupid.
We had Quicksilver, but then he also here's. Forget anybody from the other X-Men movies. Like they're assembling this team. It's got Iceman, Beast, Jean Grey. I don't even think they said Wolverine was going to be a focal point.
Those are the ones that we're missing.
Yeah, Cyclops, Angel, Iceman. Yeah, so like I think like the biggest the only way this can go wrong is if you cast super jacked and ripped Aaron Taylor Johnson as Beast, because then he can't come over as Kraven. That's the only thing that I'm hoping. Like as we're talking about these, I'm like, please don't do that, because I'd like him to stay Kraven. I would love Kraven to come over and get a chance to be in an actual good Marvel film, not like some crappy Sony film that they were like, yeah, this will sell toys, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think with the X-Men casting, like, I think we're going to get a Magneto, obviously. It'd be really weird if we didn't. But I'm curious to see. I think the one that I want to see in that
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut could be a good one, but I mostly want a Nightcrawler. I want Nightcrawler to be done justice. He's, you know, like...
Nightcrawler would be cool. Morph. We could get a Morph. I would love to have Morph.
Professor X's son? Yeah, that would be interesting.
Who is fucking in the... cartoon. You want to talk about like crazy plot lines in the cartoon series? Oh my god! But like, I would love to get Morph, and then I really like. I want to know who's gonna play like the Juggernaut. Like, I mean, dude, fucking Sabretooth would be cool. Like, even if we don't have Wolverine yet, Sabretooth. You know, think about like we talked about the heroes, but like Omega Red could come in.
Oh yeah,
you know that would be fucking cool. Like, there's so many cool villains to get in there too.
Well, let's talk about the villain because we got that.
Yeah, we did.
It's going to be Mr. Sinister, which I think is a good choice.
It is Mr. Sinister. I think that's a good choice for a villain, too. He outsmarts them all the time.
Played by Adam Driver.
Big breath. Yeah.
And here's the thing.
I was going to hold my breath for a second.
I love Adam Driver. I really do. Oh,
you do? You love Kylo Ren?
I love him in Logan Lucky. I love him in Marriage Story. I love him in Kylo Ren. I love him...
What about Giant Metropolis movie?
Oh,
do you love him in that? Do you love him going back to the club?
Club. God damn.
Back to the club. I'm gonna say that every time he comes on screen.
I don't know if Adam Driver. Okay, let me say this. I think Adam Driver could have a place in the MCU or DCU. I don't know if this is the role that makes me go, oh yeah.
Hear me out. I'm gonna tit for tat with Marvel. Marvel, get over here real quick. Tit for tat, Marvel. Listen, you did this thing. You had Robert Downey Jr. He was a good guy, right? And then you cast him as a bad guy. And so you've set a precedent where you're like, hey, it's okay. We can do that, Marvel, right? Like, you did that? Yeah, I see you nodding your head. All right, cool. You've got James Marsden playing Cyclops, and then you're going to do a new X-Men. You've already cast Cyclops. James Marsden would be a good Mr. Sinister, Marvel. No, don't run away. No, I'm making a good point. Stop it.
He's gone. They're gone.
They ran away.
Yeah.
James Marsden would have been a perfect choice for Mr. Sinister. No? Am I wrong?
Can I tell you who would have been an even better choice?
Hit me.
And this is just because I love
the guy who plays the vampire Lestat.
Jared Leto? Just kidding.
No,
that's Morbius.
From the TV show, from the sexy bisexual TV show.
I know what you're talking about. I was gonna say.
Have you watched that show? That show is horny. Anyway, keep going.
Bill Skarsgård needs to be a villain in the Marvel universe.
I would love. That's the thing.
He's in the Marvel universe.
See it.
As the villain in the Eternals, as a CGI weird alien man. So that doesn't count. Yeah. But, I mean, he would be a really good villain.
I can see him doing that. Yeah. He would be a great Mr. Sinister. There's a few different versions of Mr. Sinister, okay? And there's like a more stylized version where like his cloak has like separate pieces to it and it's kind of coming out. Like, he's got more of like a Neo Castlevania look, and then there's like a very classic, straightforward, big like collar, big cape, but like just tight, black, muscular Mr. Sinister.
I want that one.
So there's a few different ways that they could have gone about this. However, I mean, we got what we got. Adam Driver must have like tested really well. So like for me, what this means for me is that they've brought in a guy who they think can handle the overwhelming, like, dare I say, aura of a villain like that, you know?
Yeah,
like, because that's all Mr. Sinister is. Like, when you think about it, like, his fighting is not a very kinetic fighting style. Like, everything about him is presence and oppression, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, we know that Adam Driver's been trying to enter the MCU for a while, kind of like Ryan Gosling, just waiting for the right role. So, I mean, yeah, I think every time that I'm like, oh, I don't know if this casting works, typically the movie comes out and I go, okay, like, yeah, it works, you know? So we'll see. I think my biggest problem with superhero stuff in general is just I don't know. I think that just maybe that spark is gone because on this we also got 2 DC shows that are no longer in development, throwing the DC universe maybe into more of a tailspin that people are worried about. It's the Waller and Paradise Lost show. Now, granted, these aren't shows that I think matter. Paradise Lost was going to pick up after Peacemaker season 2 because that's where he's at on that planet. Waller, I think, could have been interesting, but I think it's better to just fold her in and reintroduce the Suicide Squad in this universe.
Yeah,
but
I don't think we needed. So we have the Suicide Squad technically in that universe already, right? And they've even referenced it in other things. Waller didn't need to be a show, period. Like I genuinely, like, she's a great character. She's a wonderful supporting character. Like, that's what she's there for. Amanda Waller is not main character energy. And this is nothing against the actress or the development of the character. She doesn't carry a series, period. It's DC. Like, we don't need to focus on that. Genuinely, like you said, just bring her in for the Suicide Squad, you know?
Exactly.
Paradise Lost, I'm not really too torn up about that. That's fine. Yeah, like, and I think that's why those are cut. I don't think it's in a tailspin. I think what's happening is James Gunn is being very selective with what he does, and I feel like these were shows that, like, they were like, hey, we're probably going to cut these, and James Gunn just didn't fight for him. I feel like he was like, you know what? All right, cool. We got other projects to work on.
I think the big thing to do for anybody that's liking DC or wants to see what's happening with DC, just wait for Man of Tomorrow. When we know if that movie flops, bombs, is good or bad, we'll know if DC's going to keep going. I think it's going to
kick ass.
I think so too. Speaking of kicking ass, real quick, last little bit of news, and we can talk about this very briefly. Ahsoka season 2, like 10 years later, is finally coming.
I actually want to talk about this for the rest of the podcast.
I could.
No, I know. Me too. Look, this looks good.
The
trailer looks good.
You know what this looks like, Kevin? This is exactly
what season 1 should have been like.
No, this is what the sequel trilogy should have been.
Yeah, 100%.
The sequel trilogy
was really good.
Should have just been 10 years after Episode 6, picking up with Ahsoka and Boba Fett and Luke and Han and Leia, and Admiral Thrawn comes back in the first movie, and then the next 2 movies are them on the back foot. Include Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren's with Thrawn. Like,
who cares?
You could have done so much more. So much more.
Well, that's on J.J. Abrams and not the creators of this show.
No, that's on Lucasfilm for dropping the fucking ball.
And J.J. Abrams. They gave the ball to J.J. Abrams, and he was like, I got it for like, and then he was like, he was like, well, maybe I'll hand the ball to one of my favorite directors, Ryan
Johnson.
Maybe I'll hand the ball to Ryan Johnson. Actually, no, give it back, Ryan. And like, I was like, no, what?
Yeah, for real.
And so I don't think that's completely on Lucasfilm. I think
but it's
Lucasfilm for like the vast majority of the past 10 to 15 years has been doing a horrible job of doing their own thing and then trying to balance that with listening to a super toxic and, like, I would say even puritanical fan base, like a fan base that's like, you can't touch this and you can't touch that. And it's like, well, you guys did for years. That's why we have the Star Wars universe that we did, because the fan base built up the encyclopedias and stuff like that. And then it was only when business interests came back in that they kind of like pulled that away. They're like, actually, none of that's canon. Don't even worry about it, which created the rift that then created like this toxic landscape that Star Wars currently exists within. So every time we get something, there's this push-pull of like, is it related to these? Is it tied in? Is it canon? Do we not like it? Do we like it? Like, what can we do? You know, like, so I think this is a really nice, I think this is finally a nice middle ground. Like, I feel like fans and new people will like this. I think it's going to be better than The Mandalorian stuff that we've gotten for the past, like, last season in this movie. Like, I also, I don't know if you picked up on it, but there's like, she's opening like an underground temple looking thing, and there's like a yin yang symbol. So they're kind of leaning back into that like symbolism for the Jedi and how she's more of a samurai and some of the Jedi are more knights, like,
the biggest thing about this that I'm hyped for is, one, more Hayden Christensen. Love that. Give me a Darth Vader series, please.
Oh yeah, well his voice is the predominant voice in the trailer.
Oh dude, I love it. I love all the lightsaber stuff. I love the bot that's voiced by David Tennant having 4 lightsabers fighting Baylan Skoll's apprentice. I do appreciate them keeping Baylan Skoll kind of like hidden because of what happened with Ray Stevenson. R.I.P.
Very unfortunate. Yep.
But yeah, like overall, this looks like, again, when I saw this trailer, my first thought was, oh, this should have been the sequel trilogy. And it's upsetting.
No,
because
I agree. The space battles look good too. Like, it looks like they're giving all of the main characters from the first season something cool to do.
And that's my biggest issue right now is that, like, I love Star Wars, but in the back of my head, I can't help but be like, well, no matter how this ends, it doesn't matter because we know what happens
we already
next.
know. Yeah, we already know what comes next. Yeah. Listen, I love Rosario Dawson, so it doesn't matter. Even if like this show comes out and it's bad, this is gonna be very Rings of Power for me. Where like even if it's bad, I'm gonna be like, oh, that hurts so good, guys.
Yeah, between her and Hayden Christensen, I'll be the same way. Like,
yeah. It doesn't matter. Like, and I have to admit the bias on that. Like, I'm probably gonna give it a better review than I would just because Rosario Dawson is in the lead.
That's with every Star Wars property. Are you kidding?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, you already know my favorite fucking Star Wars property is like everyone else's least favorite. So whatever.
Yeah.
Except for Andor's actually my favorite.
I would say Andor, Rogue One, and Solo, and
Andor, Solo, Rogue
Episode
One,
5.
Ahsoka. Yeah, like they're so fucking good.
But let me tell you my last bit of news, Kevin, because I think this is really funny.
Me.
I want to end this on a funny note.
A little bonus bit of news. Okay.
This isn't really news. This is just something I saw on Reddit.
Okay.
It was a screenshot from Reddit, and I thought it was kind of funny, and I thought I'd bring it up here.
Okay, what do you got?
Somebody has a conspiracy theory. So,
yes,
back in 2012, a little movie called The Dark Knight Rises came out, capping off Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, right?
Yes,
now,
where Batman famously runs away from a nuclear explosion. Yes.
Yeah, he swims away very quickly.
Yep.
Because he
very quickly.
The Flash actually showed up and took him away and then never showed up again. But so in 2010, Warner Brothers wanted to start working on a Superman property. And through a series of conversations, and because of Watchmen and 300, Christopher Nolan recommended and backed the decision to hand the reins over to one Zachary Snydery. And after Dark Knight Rises came out, then we got Man of Steel the year after, not connected to the Dark Knight trilogy, starting off a new Snyderverse.
Yes.
Now, the conspiracy is that Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy was so successful and so popular that he handed the reins purposely over to Zack Snyder so that nobody would come close to the quality of movies he made.
So people think he set Zack Snyder up for a comparison of failure.
Yeah, that he knew Zack Snyder wouldn't make anything as good as he did, so by comparison, people would still love his stuff more, and that's the conspiracy.
Who is spearheading this conspiracy theory?
Redditors, I guess.
Like Snyder fans. They're like, well, they did that
on
purpose.
Snyder fans.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe. I don't fucking know.
I feel like that's just like apologist stuff for all the Snyder stuff being bad, because it is. Like, it's objectively of a lesser quality than just about everything else in the superhero space. I mean, we talk about superhero fatigue. That's where it kind of started for me, was like, oh, yeah, like I was pumped for Batman v Superman, and then I didn't even see it in theaters. Like, I remember seeing the final trailer and be like, oh, this looks bad.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
I don't actually want to see this. The Watchmen is an amazing movie that I rarely go back to because I read the entire graphic novel and the graphic novel within the graphic novel and then watched the movie and then watched the director's cut, and that's enough. So like Zack Snyder did an amazing job recreating a graphic novel that was so satisfying. I was able to watch it a couple times and go, wow, that was really good, and then kind of back away from it. I mean, not only that, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's popularity really catapulted after that. There was so much good stuff that came out of that. But then Man of Steel was kind of like, oh, this didn't hit the way I thought it would, and it looks a little off and feels off, and then it just kept getting worse as it went on, leading all the way up to the Snyder Cut of Justice League, which is about 4.5 hours long, unnecessary. If you can't tell a succinct superhero story in under 2.5 hours, you are not good at writing
Doomsday
that story.
is 3
Like,
hours.
you're not the one. Listen, Doomsday is multiple superhero stories. Whatever. I'm going to push that to the side. I'll talk about that
Hypocrite.
when we get there.
Hypocrite.
I'll talk about that when we get there. But like, if they can't, if that, like, same thing though. Like, if that doesn't tell a succinct superhero story over the course of that 3 hours of whatever this giant Marvel event is, yeah, it's going to be bad. But like, Zack Snyder can't do it in 2.5. And then like half of the movie's slow motion anyway, which is why it's so fucking long. There's literally like, I think somebody clocked it. There's like 35 minutes
Oh, yeah, it's
of
a lot.
slow motion in that film. That's an insane amount of slow
too
motion
much.
to put into a film, bro.
It's too much.
Yeah, give us a quick shot of it, not the whole fucking thing. But like, Zack Snyder, his stuff is objectively worse. Nobody set him up for failure. He made choices and continues to make stylistic choices. And I cannot help but end the argument with, did you see Rebel Moon?
People like those movies, Kevin.
No, they don't.
Well,
Those are fake people.
I think
Dead
truly-
internet theory on that one.
deeply and truly, I think what would make everybody, well, not everybody shut up, but I think would be really kind of funny is if James Gunn brought Zack Snyder in to direct, and hear me out, a Deathstroke
And then he
movie.
was bad. Oh, I was going to say, and then he was bad. And
No,
then
give him an
everybody's like, you
R-rated-
set him up for failure.
Give him an R-rated Deathstroke movie, and then have that Deathstroke go up against Batman.
Well, here's the problem with that is James Gunn has said, you have to bring me a good story first.
Oh, then never mind.
Yeah, he's
Never mind.
greenlighting people who are writing good stories to then go into
Okay,
production.
we write
Like,
the story and Snyder directs it.
that's great. I can't wait to write.
And then Deathstroke twerked at Batman and shot a gun between his butt cheeks.
Beep, beep. Oh, sorry. I thought he was Deadpool. My bad.
Big dinosaur movie, Kevin?
Odie,
Dinosaur
Matthew,
movie with dogs?
That's enough news. Dinosaur movie, big dinosaur movie. Odie Matthews at the movies right now.
Odie Matthews at the movies.
Odie,
We saw Paw Patrol the Dino movie. which-
yeah, we did. Did you
Did-
see that? There's a bunch of Paw Patrol.
Kevin,
They have a movie out right now, don't they?
Yeah, with Terry Crews.
Oh,
as the
there was a
villain.
bunch of stuff at the theater. I was like, oh, there's no End of Oak Street paraphernalia.
But I thought we talked
here.
about-
It's all Paw Patrol.
I thought we talked about seeing. We saw Paw
If
Patrol.
you saw Paw Patrol, I have bad news for you.
Paw Patrol the Dino
because
movie, Terry
I did not
Crews,
see-
Mackenzie Grace, Snoop Dogg's
Wait,
in
is
it,
it-
Bill Nye's
is it-
in it, Paris Hilton's
Is it
in
Paw Patrol the Dino movie?
That's when I kept texting you. This movie.
Are
was
there
dumb.
2 Dino movies in theater right now?
Yes, and I
Oh.
that's why I kept telling you this movie is bad. The dialogue is bad.
Because it was a Dino movie,
Well,
but Paw Patrol.
With the
I
dog.
mean, dude, the dialogue's probably pretty rudimentary. It's supposed to be teaching you language at the same time that it's like teaching you morals.
Well, that's why I
and
was
values.
so confused on why you kept saying it was amazing.
It was amazing.
Oh,
The movie I saw,
what movie did you see?
End of Oak Street.
Oh, yeah, I saw
Ewan
that movie.
McGregor and Anne Hathaway, who are absolutely phenomenal actors. Listen, Odie, you fucked with me yesterday, I think. And there's only one way to find out, and that's when we reveal at the same time whether this movie was garbage, bad, fun, good, or great on the count of 3. 1, 2, now. Great.
I don't know.
This movie was great. What are you talking about? I thought
Okay.
you were fucking with me.
Here's the thing.
This movie's great.
This movie's not bad enough to go in bad, but it's not fun enough to go in fun.
Whoa.
So this is literally
what
just
the fuck?
so nothing for me. This movie, I think, okay, you know what? I know where I'm putting it. It's bad, Kevin. I did not like this movie very much.
You didn't like it at all.
Not at all. There were some moments I like which keep it out of garbage, but when I walked out, I
Right.
almost wanted to put it in garbage.
Okay. Well,
This
there's
is
only one
not
way.
a movie for me. It does not do things I like. It is trope city. I think that there are so many things that are missed in this. There's marks that are missed. There are threads that are pulled that go nowhere. There are character decisions that annoy me. There are tropes that are just thrown in for the sake of being tropes. There are dead-end story points, and there are things that they start to do really well, and then I think they ultimately drop the ball in the end. And I think the ending is what really sold it as bad for me.
What?
Yeah.
I
I'm
had a
not even-
completely different experience. I
I'm
loved
not
this
even
movie.
joking. And here's the thing.
I love this movie.
This is a movie that I was hyped for. Super
Yeah.
hyped for. So it's not like
Yeah.
I went in with this attitude of like I'm not going to like it. I wanted to love this movie and I just couldn't.
I'm going to counter everything you just said with I think this movie is better than most dinosaur movies we have gotten, period.
Well, the problem with
Period.
that is that's a very
It's better-
low bar.
It's better than most of the Jurassic Park movies,
Agreed.
minus maybe number one.
Number one's the best, yeah.
Number one is
better
probably
than
one of the best
65 with
dinosaur
Adam
movies
Driver.
we've ever gotten. Yep, it's very balanced, very well written, great script, great novel that it was based off. It's phenomenal. It's better than Adam Driver's Dinosaur
65.
Future movie.
Yep, that was bad.
It's better. It's better than that.
It's better than
it's
Tammy
not,
and the T-Rex with
It's
Paul
better
Walker.
than Tammy the T-Rex. It's better than Velocipaster.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The bar is low
Yeah.
for this, Kevin. Like
Listen,
dinosaur movies. Here's the best thing this dinosaur movie does: accurate, feathered, bird-sounding dinosaurs.
well, that too, but hear me out. Okay, I'm going to spend the rest of this podcast.
I have all
convincing you
my
that-
thoughts written down. I wrote them all down.
Not only am I going to okay, well, you can interject with your thoughts, but not only am I going to take this time to try to convince you that this is a good movie,
not.
I'm going to try to convince you that this is one of the best dinosaur movies that has ever been made.
By
And
default,
it's because it addresses it in a way that allows you to suspend disbelief while also reckoning with the realism that humans supplanted into the prehistoric times, or rather modern people put into a different period of history, are the bottom of the fucking social ladder and food chain.
yeah, no
Like,
shit though.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is most dinosaur movies, the premise is we have control of this until we don't. Whereas the premise of this movie is, hey, blip, you're there. Good luck. So let's go through the plot real quick.
Sure.
Do you want me to summarize, or do you want to
go for
summarize
it.
what's going on?
You
All
can
right,
take the
cool.
lead.
Well, zoom in on an idyllic suburban neighborhood in 1982, because that's the year that we're in.
1982.
Nobody has. There you go. You did it. Nobody has cell phones. Nobody has. You know, like the cell
Polaroids.
phone has. Yep. No, there's Polaroid pictures, and we got a family that's headed by Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway, who are phenomenal. By the way,
Love them.
I cannot say enough good stuff.
Great
about
performances,
Mr.
except for his
McGregor and Anne
accent
Hathaway.
slipping every now and
Whatever. Who cares?
then. Just let him be British, man.
Um,
Just let him be British.
Listen, Anne Hathaway, Ewan McGregor, and then we also have Maisie Stella and Christian Convery.
He was
and
in
they play-
Cocaine Bear.
They play the Platt family. So we've got Denise, Greg, Audrey, and Brian. Denise and Greg are the parents. Audrey and Brian are
Whitest
the
names
kids.
you know.
Yeah. And then we kind of just get the painted picture of this neighborhood. One of the funniest characters, a little bit of comic relief coming from their neighbor Mel Jacobs,
Mel.
played by PJ Byrne. Hilarious. And then we've got a little bit of like conflict with a kid named Caden Tucker, played by Hudson Meek. And then, of course, we have, what's her name? I'm trying to find, where's the other girl? Jeanette, played by Jordan Alexa Davis. So a lot of kids, right? This movie, before I finish summarizing the plot, what category do you think this movie falls into? Like what genre do you think this movie falls into? Because I think there's a couple, but I think there's one that it predominantly is, and then it ventures into the others through that.
I mean, it's kind of like a survival thriller, slight action comedy.
See, I think those are the other things that are happening in it. I think this is
A drama.
really overall a huge nod to because there was a whole genre of this film, the family adventure film of the 80s, right? Harry and the Hendersons, Mom and Dad Save the Universe, E.T., all of these, Escape to Witch Mountain. There's all of these like family style adventure films that were so popular. It was like a whole genre unto itself in the 1980s, where it was like, it's our family and we're quirky and we don't always get along and some of us have some things that we're keeping from each other, but we're going to unpack it now because we have Sasquatch in the house. You know, like that's what this is really. It's almost like a meta critique of that genre. Like, oh, hey, by the way, this is what would actually happen. And I think that's why it ventures into, as we get more into the plot, survival, thriller, horror, action comedy. It does that through the lens of, hey, remember the 80s family adventure movies, the Goonies even, right? Like your found family, your friends attempting to go out and like discover this crazy, like it's the thing where it's like all of life is very normal and here's all our normal world issues. And oh, by the way, there's going to be something extraordinary that happens that changes everything and everybody here forever.
Yeah.
And in this movie, after we get the painted picture of a writer played by Anne Hathaway, she's a wannabe author. She's writing a book, and it's kind of revealed that maybe the book that she's writing is about how she might not be completely happy with her home life. The boy in the family has broken another kid's arm in the neighborhood and might get beaten up for it. The girl is, boy, is she a bookworm, and she kind of like, she just really keeps to herself. She's, you know, a preteen. She's going through like that age where you're kind of
preteen.
angsty.
She's like 16, 17.
Sorry, she's 16, 17.
And the
she's
kid's
going through
13.
that age where you're like angsty. You're like, well, you know, she's going
She
through
likes
teenage,
boys.
But yeah, well, listen, she's going through the age where you're very angsty and like you kind of don't want anything to do with anybody. And I see like all of these things, and this maybe is what you're calling tropes, but so we get this beautiful painted picture of a 1980s neighborhood that feels very old school family adventure film. And then, just like the plot of the movie says, just like the trailer shows, some strange lights happen, and poof, we're back in prehistoric times. Now, this is precluded by an elderly neighbor lady. I forget her name right now, but she has like a prehistoric plant in her backyard. And so that's kind of addressed. And it's like, that's odd. And Anne Hathaway looks into it, and some lady's like, that's from the prehistoric era, so that can't be true. And then their neighbor Mel has a giant pile of poop that appears in his yard. And that is important because I do have a question about that based off the bootstrap paradox of time travel, but we'll get around to that.
Okay.
Mel has some poop that appears in his yard, and, you know, Ewan McGregor comes over and he's like, your kids and your wife put this poop in my yard because they're mad that I don't like your dog, which is wild. And also the dog's name's Starbuck, and he's cute as hell. But so all this stuff is happening, and then the real plot of the movie kicks off where one night everybody sees really weird lights, and then we're in prehistoric times. But they don't know that yet. So we watch them discover what's happened.
Yeah.
That's everything I can do. After that, we're into you know what I can do before we get into spoilers is I really want to give a nod. So they actually had an entire suburban like block, like a neighborhood that was built for this, which was really cool because the practicality of that just makes it that much more believable, breathable.
$80 million
you know?
budget, so
Huge.
not bad. Not
well, and they put most of it into the construction of a neighborhood
and the CGI, because I mean the dinosaurs look really good.
Yeah, so I want to give a few nods, and this is something I'd like to start doing more on this podcast. But the casting director, Mark Bennett, great job assembling the family. I think they all work really well together. They seem like a cohesive family unit, and that doesn't happen if you don't have good casting. The production designer, Maya Shimaguchi, absolutely amazing. The set is so cool, and like the production of this movie must have been so much fun. Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway said in interviews they were like because they had not worked together, and they were on their first day of shooting, and they were like, yeah, all right, we want you to run. And they would point and they'd go, oh, to that house there? And they would go, no, 7 houses down. And like they did like apparently like on the 8th take, Ewan McGregor finally like they were both being really professional. And then Ewan finally looked at her and went, did anybody tell you there would be this much running in this film? And Anne Hathaway looked at him and was like, no. And they were like, all right, well, we're just going to try to have a good time with this. So that's really cool. But like, the art directors, Kevin Houlihan, Elizabeth Wedding, and then the set director, because these houses are so fucking 1980s, all the way down to the cereal box, all the way down to the television set and the phone on the wall and the wallpaper, and like everything that's going on in the background is just nostalgia fuel. So I think a lot of people who are like 70s or 80s babies are going to watch this film and go, oh yeah, that was cool. I missed that. And that's nice because what that does is for anybody who has that nostalgia, it pulls you in a little bit more. And so maybe that's why, Odie, because I'm like 6 years older than you, I appreciated this movie. Maybe I'm just an old man loving old people's stuff in this movie.
I don't think it has anything to do with the time period, because here's the thing. Okay.
Okay.
Let me say this.
Hit me.
I think this movie sets up everything in a really engaging way. There's the summer. It opens with the summer block party. We immediately get like, oh, this family is perfect, and then it's like, oh no, they have marital issues, and the kids can see it, and there's conflict. Yarf! I'm so tired of a movie where something happens and the parents, the mom and dad, have to have some underlying marital issue. That is so old and played out. Have you ever seen the movie Mitchells versus the Machines on Netflix? It's an animated movie.
I love that movie.
Okay, that movie is a family that truly loves each other and gets along, but the center conflict is the fact that the dad doesn't understand the daughter because the daughter is artistic and he doesn't get that. But he still loves her and they still have a good relationship. And I think the biggest thing that makes me upset about this movie is I wanted a family that actually fucking likes each other going through a stressful situation, because to me, a family that actually likes each other being put to the test is far more interesting than the same old tired family who doesn't completely get along and then they all have to make up throughout it, because spoiler alert, by the time everybody makes up, then deaths start happening and things start to get rewritten, and it all falls very, very flat for me, especially with the ending, which we will get to.
Oh, I don't think it does. I think actually the opposite, and allow me to present a counterpoint to this. I think that showing that they have these problems, because like families go through stressful times, right? It's not always we love each other. And like when you maybe like that's the lens that they wanted for Mitchells versus the Machines, because it creates the more cohesive unit of fighting these like unbelievably out of control robots in that movie, versus in this movie it's like, hey, we all have our problems, but we're about to have way bigger issues. And I think it like creates a better case for the survival horror to step in, because it's like, oh yeah, you thought you had problems, first world family in 1982 who has a nice house and a roof over their head and has a block party, like you think you have problems now. And it helps them to resolve their issues, that they have these bigger things to overcome later.
But those resolved issues don't matter in the end.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes,
but
they do.
Here's the thing. Where I was going with the setup is I think that like everything up until they get teleported, well, not up until they get teleported, I think leading up to them getting teleported, establishing the people in the community, establishing what's going on. Like, I might not like the trope of the parents don't get along, but like it's all set up very well. The kids are established very well. There's conflict that's established. They get teleported, and then they go out and they discover the dinosaurs, right? Like we get the shot where they split up, and Ewan McGregor runs into a velociraptor, which is really good.
Hold on, hold on. We'll get there.
I'm building.
You're jumping too far ahead.
I know, but hang on. Let me just jump to this point, because when they first discover dinosaurs and they go back to the house, from the moment they go back to the house on, I feel like this movie drops drastically and gets almost boring in some areas.
I disagree. I loved every part of it. Listen, seeing a marital couple have issues, I think it's overplayed when they talk about it, when they over-explain, and they don't over-explain in this one. They have an issue, but you don't know like exactly what it is. You just know that somewhere the biggest point of it is in the communication between the couple. And that communication, they kind of, the movie itself and the way that the plot develops forces their hand rather than anything else. Because like all the way up, like, and okay, so we'll get into spoilers, but like they get transported back in time. And one of the other things that I really liked about this movie is it's not dinosaurs right away. We get this really chilling, tense nighttime scene where the parents they hear a scream off in the distance, because obviously someone went out of their house, right? And that scream, they're like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And they go out to look for it. And then Ewan McGregor plays a very good, believable character. Like, he doesn't play a character who's overly brave. He doesn't play a character who's overly anything, really. Like, he's kind of wishy-washy. Like, he's like, all right, I'm going out with my baseball bat, but let's go back in the house and board it up. Yeah. And they go back in and they board it up, and they're like, you know what? Hey, let's all sleep in the living room tonight. I thought that was a really good moment, because it's like, oh, yeah, because of course the dad would be like, all right, let's all sleep downstairs. It'll be nice for us. And then they wake up, and they're actually still having a normal fucking morning. And the parents are like, all right, the power's off. We can't get in touch with anybody. And then the next morning they discover the water's off as well. And so like the slow reveal of them realizing, because like that's the thing. Like, you wouldn't realize it right away. You wouldn't be like, oh, something's way off.
Yeah.
We have to go and discover all this stuff, which I think is the big mistake that a lot of adventure movies make. They're like, something's weird. They're like, the water's off. That must mean, and then they go out on the adventure. You know, in this one, they're like, oh, the water's off. Huh. Yeah, we'll have to look into that. Let's see if anybody else is having issues. Let's go out into the neighborhood and see what's going on.
Agreed.
You know?
I liked all that a lot.
It was great.
I think
Then-
that build-up is great, especially that night sequence with the scream. I even like kind of whispered to myself out loud. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna get good."
And then the couple still has their marital issues. So like Anne Hathaway goes, "Hey, I'm gonna go check on this lady who I like, who I would talk to,"
And he's gonna go look for the dog.
Ewan McGregor's like, yeah, I'm going to go look for the dog because the dog has gotten out. That's like part of the plot is like the dog gets out of his leash and then goes into the other guy's yard and poops and whatever, right? But Ewan McGregor's like, I'm going to go look for the dog. And this is where we get our first dinosaurs that they run
That
into.
moment.
And,
Oh,
yeah. Well,
so good.
And leading up to the kids even see like a tail in the backyard, which freaks them out. And so then they finally get back into the house, like after being chased. So Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway get chased by historically accurate velociraptors.
I love that.
Feathers and I kept calling them chicken raptors. Yeah, I was like, chicken raptors.
Yeah. And terrifying though. That first scene where it's chasing him.
Yes.
Oh man, tense as fuck. One of the best moments
terrifying.
in my opinion.
Yeah, and David Robert Mitchell,
he did It Follows.
actually, he did It Follows, and here's a cool little bit about him and Anne Hathaway. He actually, after It Follows, Anne Hathaway called up her agent and was like, I would like to have a conversation with this guy. Not even like, I want to be in a movie. Like, I want to talk to this guy because he's a special director, and I want to do something with him. 8 years later, the script shows up for her. They had a conversation after It Follows, and he knew he had enough sense to go, okay, well, I'm not just going to send her anything. And then he sent her this script, and that's what brought her on board. But like, he did a very good job showing like how predatory and I would even say neutral. Like, it's not even like I feel like another version of this movie by another writer-director would paint the dinosaurs as like this evil or like a thing that has to be overcome. Whereas in this one, it's like, oh no, you're just food now and you have to interact with that. Yeah. You have to interact with your status change rather than the dinosaur as a threat. Yeah, that's another movie would make it so that the dinosaurs are just a threat. This movie makes the threat that you are now the bottom of the fucking food chain. And it answers the question because a lot of people like, and David Robert Mitchell and J.J. Abrams both talked about this in an interview, and I do think they did a great job with this. They talk about how like you kind of walk around, and especially as a kid, you're like, wow, wouldn't it be cool if there was a dinosaur right there? No, it wouldn't. Like, the answer is no. Like, the answer is our imagination can get us so far as saying, hey, wouldn't it be cool if this was the case? No. The answer is actually no most of the time. Yeah. And that's what I love the most about this, because the rest of this movie, like you said, they run back into the house, not before a neighbor gets eaten by a chicken raptor, but they get back inside the house, luckily, and I would say this probably one of my critiques of this movie is like they get inside the house and they shut the door and the raptors hit it, and I'm like, all right, that's like 600 pounds of
There's
animal
a few of those
hitting
moments,
that door.
Kevin.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, 600 pounds of animal would break the door down, but I'm going to suspend it for the family adventure movie. I'm going to suspend disbelief for this movie.
But that's the thing is, the movie wants you to suspend disbelief when it's convenient for the movie, but not in other moments. And that was another big problem, because there's a couple moments, and if we're in spoilers, I might jump around a little bit.
Yeah, we're in spoilers now.
I'm not trying to, but because you're making me think of these thoughts. One of my biggest gripes with this movie is the amount of times that we are told and shown, so showing and telling, from the main characters, which is our point of view. And I think it's good to focus on them, because yes, like, there's other people in the neighborhood, and like you see them in wide shots, and like you hear them, but like we don't need to see everything that the neighbors are going through, and that's fine. You get glimpses of it, and that's good, because you be focused on this family, and it's every man for themselves. But what bothers me a lot is they keep going, we're in a dangerous situation, we could die. The kids are like, oh my God, we could die. And then, Ewan McGregor's like, we're going to believe in God. And Anne Hathaway's like, you only go to church on Christmas. And then when faced with those situations, instead of acting they either sit there and stare until the dinosaur gets close, or my least favorite part, when a giant T-Rex is barreling towards them, somehow it's as silent as a fucking mouse until it's 10 feet away. Nobody sees dinosaurs coming in this movie multiple times, and every single time I'm like, there's no way. There's no way you wouldn't fucking hear or see this.
Yeah, you know what that makes me think of is remember we watched War of the Rohirrim, and there's like the deathly silent elephant, like the menacing elephant in the trees. It's like, yeah, that didn't hit any leaves. Okay,
that scene with the T-Rex chasing them and the kid's like, oh my god, it's like you didn't fucking feel it. That thing weighs a house.
Yeah. That must have been tricky for the sound design on this because, and then we're shown multiple times how brontosauruses are the loudest fucking thing in the world. Yeah, I'm with you on that, and I do think that like, 600-pound Velociraptor running into a door is probably going to knock over, Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway, who maybe weigh like a combined, 260 pounds.
Yeah, not much.
I think, and those are my technical gripes with the movie. However, and maybe this is why we have such differing opinions of this, I'm able to suspend disbelief because I'm watching this as a family adventure movie. And then adding those other elements afterward, because those are the elements that tend to permeate the atmosphere of the movie. Like, like multiple times people are just getting ripped apart by dinosaurs in this film. But like the film keeps grounding the realism. We get all of these really nice, I actually really liked all the pulled back shots where it shows like them just running and like really how like fast but not fast they are, you know? Like it just shows like the kids or the parents or even like the boys, the boys who like have a little like tussle with the son. Like when they run off, they're so small on screen, and I love how it keeps reminding you like, hey, by the way, they're really small compared to this world right now.
Well, here's the other thing real quick to tap onto my like them not seeing the T-Rex coming. There's also a moment where a giant snake comes out of a pool and it chases after the boy very slowly, and then you're like, okay, that snake's gonna come back obviously. And then it does. Mm-hmm. It comes. It slithers through the house, and it's very long. So it starts upstairs. It goes past the boys' room. It goes past this other girl who's in the bathroom listening to music. It goes past the daughter's room. It goes downstairs, and it's about to attack Anne Hathaway. And the boy, finally, after missing every arrow with his bow and arrow, which I kind of thought was funny.
That was funny.
He hits it with an arrow, and like clearly the arrow only goes in an inch, maybe 2. Like it's not a very deep arrow, and the snake immediately turns around and beelines back upstairs and starts pounding on the boy's door, which realistically should have broke that door in one hit. But then Anne Hathaway pulls out a knife and is repeatedly stabbing it over and over and over again. And even though we just saw it turn around and beeline to the thing that attacked it before, this time it doesn't. And I just feel like moments like that were so inconsistent with how the dinosaurs behave and what they do. Like, there's a moment where a dinosaur kills a character, and then all the other characters are standing 5 feet away from it. That dinosaur would immediately try to kill you too. It wouldn't stop after.
You think so?
Okay, let me ask you, Kevin. If you had a little piece of beef jerky and you ate it, and there was a whole bunch of beef jerky and you were still hungry right next to that, would you stop eating that little piece of beef jerky and go after more beef jerky, or would you just munch on that one little piece?
I'm not a dinosaur, but I feel like from all the animals I've interacted with, I do know that if I throw down 2 treats for a dog, that the dog is going to eat one treat entirely.
And then go immediately to the next.
And then go to the next one, but only after the other treat is complete.
You're telling me a T-Rex can't eat a person in like 2 bites? Come on.
Listen, all right.
But you see what I'm saying, though? These are my gripes with it. Like, the inconsistency
I kind of do,
this.
but I don't at the same time.
That's
because, once again, like I said, I think we've uncovered what the big difference is here, is that I enjoy this as a meta critique of family adventure films. So, like, for me, I'm able to go, oh, okay, when the snake came into the house, I looked over and I was like, yo, you telling me that nobody fucking feels that? Like,
that's
the vibration of this giant snake moving through the house. And yeah, I have critiques of that. That doesn't, but like, here's this, the same thing happens in fucking Jurassic Park even. Like, even in the first one. Like, they're like, oh, the T-Rex don't move. Oh, the T-Rex is we feel the T-Rex. You mean you don't hear the thudding of 3 raptors? Like all of a sudden raptors can be dead quiet?
But
like,
raptors
no.
are known for being silent hunters. So
They're
yes.
not known for being silent hunters with their feet when they're 600 pounds, though, Odie. And that happens even in Jurassic Park, is what I'm saying. So, like, if that's your critique of this movie, be harsher on Jurassic Park.
I am
because
harsher
there's
on
a lot
Jurassic
of
Park.
pseudoscience in that,
Because
too.
Jurassic Park drops the ball in a lot of ways. It doesn't hold up like people think.
But this, so like this though, I'm able to be like, you know what? All right, fine, whatever. Who cares? Like there's so many other moments that I think just they make up for it. Like yeah, you can focus on the hey, I recognize
I
the
have
thing
more
that's
gripes.
wrong, or you can have fun and enjoy it. Like I thought it was really good. I really love that. Like. All right, well, let's just go through your gripes because I feel like everything else is me going, I like this movie.
And like I said, there's moments in this that I like, but I
Yeah.
have more gripes. Another thing
This
that I
is
think,
so. This might be the most different we felt about a movie.
I think so, and I'm not
ever.
budging. Like it's staying in bad. I didn't have fun with it, and I sighed a
I
lot during
loved
this
it.
movie.
I had so much
sighed
fun
so
with this
much.
movie.
There was okay. Here's the thing. I don't think the score is very good in this movie.
I thought it was good.
The moment when they're boarding up the house, it's like this very intense, and like I just don't think it fits.
It's a play on the family theme, yeah, but they played it differently, yeah.
I also think that there are some really good shots cinematography wise, like with tracking and stuff. But there's also
Yeah.
a couple scenes where we get really weird close-ups of certain people's faces with other people in the background. Did not like that at all. That moment when they're talking in the house and we get these weird close-ups of people in the house and like we're getting like the back of the kid's head while Anne Hathaway's talking in the foreground. Did not like those shots at all. I thought they were all very amateur school, like film school. Look how cool I'm being. These don't work for me personally kind of shots.
All right.
I also think that the acting is really good from Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor, but I think the kids are bad. I did not find their performances very engaging. I think the son especially, and maybe it's because he's supposed to come across as like a 13-year-old whiny boy, but I just felt like
He is.
I felt like a lot of his stuff was included just to get the characters to the next part that needed to happen. Like, I think one of the biggest things that upset me is the dog. Like, this dog is introduced as getting out, and they spend so much time looking for it just for it to come back and have this Deus Ex Machina moment where it, like, saves the boy, and then, like, they all escape together. And, like, the dog just felt like it was only there so it could come back at the end and save the day, and that to me,
like in a family adventure film. Yeah, exactly.
yeah. And maybe I don't like
Yeah,
family
like in a
adventure
1980s
movies.
family adventure film. Yeah,
I think because most of the ones you named, I'm like, I don't like any of these, Kevin.
yeah, they're quirky 1980s family adventure films. That's what this is.
And then I wrote down another one of my thoughts that I wanted to kind of pitch by you.
Go ahead.
See what you think.
Yeah.
Where is it? Yeah. So like I said, I feel like after they teleport and they like discover there's dinosaurs, I think there's too much emphasis on the family drama, and I didn't love how much time we spent like kind of rehashing a bunch of that.
Okay. You have two people who have been pushed over the brink, and one who has been refusing to communicate, and then all of a sudden they have to communicate. And I actually really like this moment because we discover the dinosaurs, we get back into the house, and then we discover that the fucking house is flooded. And Anne Hathaway's novel that she's been working on, that she's very proud of and has even received some praise from a friend, is destroyed. And she has this really quiet moment of like, okay, I have bigger issues. I need to collect myself. And then when the parents fight, it finally comes up. And I love that Ewan McGregor just kind of reveals, and this maybe explains why they have such distance between them in the beginning. He's like, I read your fucking novel.
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
like that moment.
I read it, and I know that you. Yeah, and she kind of freezes for a second. And here's the thing: Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway make everybody else look like amateurs in this film. It doesn't matter who else you are in this film, and so maybe that's why you don't think the kids are as good. It's because they're performing opposite Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway.
I'll give you that one.
Thanks.
I'll
but
concede that one.
They're so good and believable in every single moment, even the moments that are unbelievable. Even the moments where it's like, you don't notice that T-Rex right now. As soon as they fucking do, it's on, baby.
Yeah, but they should have noticed it sooner.
I loved that, though. And, like, The big argument, I actually love the argument because I love that, like, it's such a true to form argument where he drops the big bomb he's been holding onto. He's like, I read your fucking novel and you think I don't know that that's our family and you want to leave us? Like, I was like, oh shit.
And her acting, Anne Hathaway is like shaking and stuff. Like,
so
that
good.
scene was one of my favorites in terms of dialogue.
Good. Yes, they're so good.
But now allow me
all right,
to tell you my biggest gripe.
Hold on. Wait.
Okay, go ahead.
I feel like we can lead up to your biggest gripe by saying I also would like to highlight a couple things leading up to what I think your biggest gripe is. First off, I love the neighbor being ripped apart by pterodactyls on his roof.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
With his handgun.
I love that scene. They're like, what is that? It's Mel. And he's on his roof. He's like, I love that this man refuses to accept reality. He's like, get off of my property, pterodactyls. Like, dude, you don't have property anymore. Like, you don't have a house anymore. Your house is a nesting ground. And then he just gets torn apart. I also love the random, I don't even know what they're called, but the little like turtle dinosaurs, whatever they are.
Oh, in the street? Those were cute.
Yeah, like there's like a herd of them and they're kind of migrating. I thought that was cool. Like, they're like, hey, we got to drive around them.
Honk the horn. She's like, what?
He's like, and I love that Ewan McGregor's like, I guess I'll just do the thing that I do with normal animals, and Anne Hathaway's like, no, like,
it doesn't work.
Don't stop being an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's a lot of moments in this movie where Ewan McGregor, I think, is representing like the 1980s dad who tries to solve everything, right? And then Anne Hathaway is representing like a very sensible person, like almost like the viewer, and kind of going, don't do that. Why would you be stupid? There's almost like an under theme of this movie of like male impotence, like, because the dad and the son continually fail to do things. So I was kind of like, oh, is that a theme? Like, did we write that into this movie on purpose? But Odie, let's get into your big gripe because I feel like I know what it is. Go ahead.
I'm curious. What do you think it is?
I think it's Ewan McGregor dying.
No. Okay. So that's the thing.
Oh, okay.
I think that whole moment, and it's probably, now that we're talking about it, I think the moment where he first meets the chicken raptor is really good.
Yes.
And I think the moment where they're playing keep away the dinosaur from their kids is probably the best moment, because it starts with, well, besides the fact that it starts with a dinosaur sneaking up on him, but...
Well, first off, hold on. And maybe this is why the dinosaur sneaks up on them. I want to highlight maybe one of my favorite moments of the entire film. I laughed out loud multiple times during this scene, but at one point they just hear some thudding, and it's very clearly, it could be a threat, could be, and they come around the corner of these hedges, and there are brontosauruses fucking
just doing
it on the side of a house, and that cracked me up. That to me was like, good. Hey, by the way, this would happen. Yeah, like somebody's house is getting fucked on. That was hilarious. And then like they have this cute moment where they kind of fall back in love with each other because dinosaurs are having sex.
It's great. Like, and I thought a picture of them and everything.
Yeah, it was fun and funny, and they had just gone through all of these hard times together. Yeah. And then that's immediately followed up with this T-Rex scene.
And it starts with the T-Rex chasing the kid, and he gets trapped in the garage. He jumps out the window, and Hathaway shoots it. It races towards her. Or no, Ewan McGregor like says, "Come after me." And then Anne Hathaway shoots it. It chases her. It corners her on a patio and like
a porch.
A porch, thank you. And like it's trying to nom her, and you can see that the porch is breaking, and it's like, here any second it's gonna get her. And then Ewan McGregor comes up and hits it with a sledgehammer in the leg. And then
in the part where Anne Hathaway shot it too, like he hits it in the wound on its leg.
Yeah,
specifically.
It's great. And then
it was good.
In a moment where people in my theater actually cheered and it made me laugh, he fucking hits it in the face with a sledgehammer as it goes to take a bite out of him.
He hits it in the chin and knocks it out. And okay, here's what I love about this moment. Is this moment I paused and I went, "Oh, are we doing this?"
Yep.
I was like, "Are we going to do the movie where all of a sudden like dinosaurs are less of a threat?" And then the T-Rex gets back up and immediately chomps his leg off.
Slams him in the ground.
Screams.
Yeah.
Bloody murder until it just chomps him in half. And this is where I was like, thank you. Because that to me, going along with the meta critique, going along with what I think this film is, that was him going. That was David Robert Mitchell going, hey, remember that they would have these moments in 1980s family adventure films? Yeah, this isn't that film though. Like, and I feel like he does that like a lot in this movie where it's like, hey, remember this moment from 1980s family adventure films? This isn't that film. You know, like it's doing it a lot. So I can see where maybe you like got tired with it, got bored of it. But for me, every time they did that, I thought it was rewarding.
I loved that he hits it and everyone cheers because as soon as he hit it, I was like, oh, he's dead. Like this thing's gonna get.
Oh,
that didn't
yeah,
kill
exactly.
It. Like
yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
You're crazy. It's a sledgehammer to a fucking house. And he like runs up to Anne Hathaway and he's like, are you okay? It grabs him by the leg, twirls him around, slams him down, noms him in half, kills him. They walk away. She loses her mind, snaps at her kids. They start crying. They go back to the house. The snake attacks and they're like, hey, that thing that's glowing up on the hill, that's the orb that we saw earlier in the movie, and it can teleport us back to our time. And I was like,
oh, yeah. Okay.
Here we
I
go.
also
This is
love
great.
that they never explain the orb.
They don't
thing.
need to.
I love
it's a throwaway solar flare line. I'm fine with that. You know what?
Yep.
Here's the thing. In time travel movies, don't explain your time travel. Just let it happen. Who cares?
Don't over
Doesn't
explain
fucking
it
matter.
for sure. But it doesn't matter.
So-
There's a bubble. There's a weird time anomaly that they can get back through.
So
They
let's
think.
talk about-
They don't even know.
Let's talk about this like them going to the bubble because this will lead into my gripe. For one,
Okay. Because this is like the final sequence of the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. I will give you a gripe of mine before we get there because it happens earlier. There's this threat of being beat up by these boys.
Oh, I
in this
hated
movie,
that.
Right? This is the kid subplot. So the son is out looking for the dog at night.
stupid kid.
He gets jumped by this kid who says he's going to kill him. And then the kid's brother comes running up with a cast. He's like, don't do it.
Don't do it.
John
You
or
need
Steve
to.
or whatever the
Maybe.
fuck you do. He's like, don't do it. We gotta get out of here.
Why are you
Like,
outside at night?
I don't know what they were doing. But here's what I love about the movie is them specifically. They then like they run off because he's like satisfied that he just punched him in the face a few times, and like they run off and they're never to be seen again. I'm like, oh, they got eaten. Whatever, doesn't matter. And then that and like every time a cat runs out of the house, I'm just like, that cat's dead.
Well,
like,
you saw a dead
like
cat
every
getting eaten
time.
on the porch.
Every time an animal runs out of the house, I'm like, that animal's dead, man. Like, they're done
okay.
for.
The kids thing,
Okay.
like, is one of my gripes, but I'm not going to get into it too much. But I feel like there's just a lot of things that they introduce, and then when they go to do the payoff, I'm like, okay, so these kids, like, they said this whole thing about breaking his arm, and this guy's going to kill him, and then that whole moment's like 2 seconds, and it really doesn't do anything. The kid gets beat up, his sister finds him, and nothing happens.
Well, and then Jeanette finds them because they're out. So, yeah, it is a little bit like, it's kind of like, then this happens and this happens.
But if the kids
so
had never beat him up, he still would have been outside looking for the dog, and his sister probably still would have found him. That's my thing.
Yeah.
But, like, okay.
Well, I think they did that just to show a little bit of... But then they get Jeanette, and they go back, and, like, I actually thought this was a good moment. I thought the moment where it's revealed that, like, the sister kind of thinks Jeanette is cute, because, like, the son thought she was cute in the beginning, then the sister thinks she's cute, and then you get the verification later that, oh, they are lesbians, by the way.
Yeah.
She doesn't reciprocate the son's yearning, and instead is interested in the sister who was the one who patched her up, like, you know, helped her bandage up.
Well,
her
there's a good fake out
injuries and
scene
stuff. I
too,
thought that was
where she's talking to a girl and a boy walks up and you go, oh, she's jealous about the boy, but nope, she's jealous because it's the girl.
Exactly.
Which is totally fine. I think that was fine. But so they go up to this big house on the hill, which ends up being the librarian's house, who's still alive in there with a shotgun, and it's the four of them now. The two kids, Jeanette, their neighbor girl that they picked up, and then Anne Hathaway. And they get up on top of the roof, and there's this orb, and it's like every 5 seconds it's disappearing and reappearing, and they think it'll transfer them back to their real time. I gotta say, when the boy jumped and the ball disappeared, I laughed out loud in the theater.
I laughed so hard.
I
loved that. I was like,
I
of
was
course.
the only one, and I felt really
I
awkward.
did too. I'm with you. No, I laughed. Yeah, no, 100. That was funny because he lands and then just whimpers, and you're like, yeah, that's what would happen.
Yeah, you just jumped off a two-story house. Like,
yeah,
So,
dude, that sucks.
Jeanette, the neighbor girl, jumps in, and here's the thing. Again,
She makes it.
giant pterodactyls flying around you, landing on the house, making noises, and you're still like, should we jump? Well, let's wait. Should we jump?
Let's jump.
Let's wait. Should we jump?
Yeah.
Let's wait. There's like a solid 2 minutes of screen time where the orb's appearing and disappearing, and the family is just standing there being like, I don't want to go first. You go first. I'm going to go first.
Is this your biggest gripe of the movie? Is that?
No, but that really didn't
Oh,
annoy
okay.
me. Anyways,
okay.
they jump. The kid lands, so they run downstairs. The dog shows up and saves the kid by biting a pterodactyl. And then they run back in the house, and there's some mutant alligators, and they get cornered. And
Not
like,
mutant, prehistoric alligators.
Whatever. At this
They're
point, I
not
don't care.
mutants. They're
Yeah,
prehistoric
mutant.
alligators.
They're prehistoric
They're
alligators.
very big alligators.
And for like the 10th time in this movie, everybody is cornered.
Actually,
and they're
those
like,
alligators were from the modern day. They got stuck.
Yeah, they just were there.
They're stuck with everybody.
They were from Gatorland. This takes place in
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah.
But like, they get cornered again by dinosaurs, and they freak out again. And then the librarian shows up, saves them. They get back up to the roof, and they jump through the orb, and they're teleported to the night at July 11th, 1982 at 10:45. So they have 20 minutes. And here's the thing. I thought, I'm going to just tell a scene, and then I'll say what I thought was going to happen.
Go ahead.
So they get back out and they go, oh, my God, we have 20 minutes. What do we do? And they're like, well, there's no time. And then she's like, well, wait a minute. There's a payphone. I'm going to order a pizza because you know who delivers pizza? Your dad. Now your dad's alive
Who I love again.
Who I love again, even though this version still thinks we hate each other. But we'll get to that.
Yep.
Delivers the pizza.
Keep going.
They witness the big orb teleport the suburb. And then somehow we jump 2 years later, and even though we just saw them sitting on a bench at a bus stop waiting for the dad to deliver a pizza, she somehow was able to call everybody in the neighborhood and tell them to leave before it teleported.
Well, okay,
and then, I'm not done. I am not done, Kevin. You wait your turn, mister.
Okay.
Crisscross applesauce, sit in the corner and wait your turn.
All right.
Then we jump 2 years later, and she saved everybody, and she has this amazing relationship with Ewan McGregor. But here's the thing. Everything that Ewan McGregor that we saw go through is null and void, and all it did was reignite her love for the relationship.
Yeah.
And it's not – I just don't think that works. I think it's such a – and here's why. Because I think it would have been more interesting if they get back and the girl, like, looks at a newspaper, and that's how they figure out it's the date. And they're like, oh, my God, we have time. And then they come over the hill, and it's the day after, and they're too late, and it's already happened. Because I think it's such a cop-out to be like, nope, the dad's still alive. His death, if they had kept it, would have probably made me like this movie a lot more, because I think his death needed to happen for so many reasons, and to bring him back just didn't work for me personally.
The reason I like that they brought him back was because it was funny.
Well, that's the thing. It's just a joke. He's like, is that a fucking dinosaur? And they're like, yeah, it's a dinosaur. It's like,
no, I thought that was hilarious. I
sighed.
Okay. First off, they don't show Anne Hathaway call everybody. They only show her get the phone, and the kids are like, what are you doing? She's like, shut up.
I'm ordering a pizza.
Just let me do my thing. Well, she said she's ordering a pizza. Then it turns out she saved 3 other neighbors, too. The librarian, Mel, who then, in a very comical way, is thanking her. He's like, oh, I owe my life to that woman. You know, it's like, we didn't always get along, which is like, just, that's for us. That's not even for, like, him.
Yeah.
You know, like, you wouldn't say that. Like, anyway. But, like, he's like, I owe my life to that lady. And then the old lady that read her book that she loves, she saved her. So she saved 3, or no, and then the girl Jeanette's parents, which, okay. And this is where I will admit at the end of the movie, I'm like, all right, well, I have questions. Because the last shot we get is the girl hanging out with Jeanette, who was with them in Weird Jurassic Place, and Ewan McGregor, who's not their Ewan McGregor, but this other Ewan McGregor, and then Anne Hathaway, the son, and then Jeanette and Jeanette's parents are alive. But, like, she saved other present-day Jeanette and her parents, but then they still have past-present Jeanette there. And that is, as insofar as, like, time travel movies go, that is a huge anomaly. Because, like, remember, that's the whole plot of Southland Tales, is, like, don't let them touch each other. They will, like, unravel space-time. This movie has a bit of a bootstrap paradox because how do you explain to Ewan McGregor that you are his family and he did you mean he didn't realize he just left his family
What
down
happened to
there
the other
and you're
versions of
not
them?
his family? Well, I said to Lexi as we were leaving the movie, I was like I really hope that there's a sequel to this movie where it's Ewan McGregor being like, you're not my family. like just dealing with that,
This could be connected to Cloverfield too.
Maybe everything could be connected to Cloverfield at this point.
But yeah, I think that ending with him, it left me with so many again, that's too many questions for the last 5 seconds of a movie.
Yeah, I don't think that's genuine. I don't think that's the point of it. I think the point is that we did the adventure. Here's the roundabout ending. So I think this movie does a really good job balancing out the tropes that it is critiquing and making fun of with what is useful for the storytelling that tells a story very similar to what we were used to from 80s, 90s family adventure films. That's what I think. I think it does a good job of being a family adventure film while also critiquing a lot of things from family adventure films and then just kind of bringing everything around in a nice little bow. It doesn't have to explain itself. And that, to me, is why this movie's great. I thought it was great because it's also refreshing. I can't name another movie that's like this movie that I've seen in the past 5 years. So overall,
just name any good movie, and it's probably
no. That's like this movie that combines all these elements in a fun and semi-grounded way. And that's the word that I would use for it. I would say this movie is semi-grounded. It doesn't ask you to because it's a science fiction film at the end of the day. At the end of the day, this is science fiction with family adventure, action, thriller, survivor, horror a little bit. There's a lot of horror when people are getting eaten, Ewan McGregor has said, Ewan McGregor's son is 5 years old and he had to tell his son, hey, I'm in a movie with dinosaurs, but you can't see it yet.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah, which is cool. There's a lot of really good stuff with this. Do I think it's the best dinosaur movie ever? No. Do I think it's the best family adventure movie ever? No. But I think it's really, really great. And I think it's really original. And in a time where we're still developing out Doomsday and Dune and Star Wars and all of these things, it's really nice to get just this one little pocket adventure of a family that goes through an extraordinary experience, and then the mom writes a book about it, and all their problems are solved at the end. It's nice. It's what this movie feels like? This movie feels like a good casserole. You ever have a good casserole?
No, because casseroles suck. But do you? Does it change your opinion at all to know that they used AI in some of their advertisements?
Oh no. Okay. Well, this movie's bad now.
Yes. Thank you. No.
Why did they use AI? Shut up. They did?
Yeah. And we also got confirmation that they used AI for some of the concept art for Lobo and Supergirl.
You should have led with that.
Oh, I was saving it to the end so I could crush your spirits.
You should have led with that. Now this movie's bad. They used AI. It's over.
Not in the movie, just for advertising. So, I mean...
Yeah, but... Fucking...
It's Warner Brothers, man. They don't give a fuck. So, here's the thing. At the end of the day, did I enjoy this movie? No. But that's because I think... Partially, I went in hoping for something that I didn't get, and that happens, and that's part of the movie-going experience.
What were you hoping for? Hit me with that.
I was hoping for a family that, again, didn't really
love each other,
nearly as many problems as they do. Because I think I'm just personally tired of that trope. Also, having a really shitty family, I don't want to go watch a shitty family. That doesn't really do it for me.
That's more so why I thought you didn't like that part.
Yeah, if I got transported with dinosaurs in my family, I'd be like, guys, I'm going to go look for supplies, and I would just leave and never come back.
Yeah.
I'd bring my sister with me.
Suckers.
See ya. But that's not true. I wouldn't let my parents get eaten by dinosaurs. But I wanted that. I'm not that mean. But
okay.
I think and again, I like the slow build up to the reveal of dinosaurs, but I think I wanted more dinosaur stuff. I think maybe one of the things that I didn't like.
You wanted more Jurassic Park, less family adventure.
Maybe, but I also think it would have been kind of nice to see more people. Yes, I think it works for the story that we didn't see everything else going on in the neighborhood. But at the same time, it would have been kind of nice to see the neighborhood getting fucked up for a minute.
Yeah, I think that would have been nice. I agree with you on that. Instead, what we get is a couple destroyed cars
and dead bodies.
Yeah,
people
some dead
running
bodies,
in the background.
A couple things like a car does crash into a window. Like we get some destruction, but yeah, you're right. Like there would
Could use a
definitely
little more.
Well, that was another thing that I thought of. I'm like, dinosaurs have no concept of what the fuck a house is. They're gonna try to step on that. Like
They should have destroyed more houses.
Yeah, they should have destroyed more houses. Okay. Here's the things I'm with you on. Dinosaurs should have destroyed more things. There should have been more scenes of like people getting eaten, and maybe the family should have had like a slightly different dynamic. Although I'm more so saying
I get why
agree
you
with
like
your
the
point on
dynamic
that.
they had.
I also like the dynamic. But yeah, no, I agree. It's so hard to balance grounded and sci-fi. Period. Right? Like it's so hard to balance those things, and I think this movie does a good job of it. Insofar as this movie is concerned. If you were to, there's another version of this movie, like I said, where the dinosaurs are just a threat, and this is just another Jurassic World, and I'm so glad we didn't get that. So I think maybe you and I went in with different expectations. I was like, oh, we're going to get something different. And we did, and I was very happy with that.
It's not the different I wanted.
I don't think this movie was bad, though.
That's fine.
I don't think this movie, I think this movie was great. I would watch this movie again. I would watch this movie again on my own.
I would not.
But maybe I'm just super. Maybe it turns out I just really love Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway.
And that's the thing is
that might be it. I don't know, but I love this movie. It was great.
I just wish I had more fun with it, so I could put it in fun. But I just didn't. So it has to go in bad.
Okay. All right. Couple things for you. Little fun tidbits at the end of this. First off, I don't know if you know this, but Elon Musk has come out and said that he is super pissed about how woke this movie is. He said that lesbians didn't exist in prehistoric times. And so he's going to make an AI version of this movie that is more historically accurate.
Oh, good.
No, I'm just kidding. When that happened, I was like literally when it was revealed that the girls were into each other, I'm like, oh, Elon's gonna be pissed.
Of course. Gay people didn't exist in 1982.
He's gonna be so sensitive about this.
1982.
But then, yeah, right. The lesbians didn't exist in 1982. Okay. So here's my final question for you. So it's revealed that when they jump through the bubble, although they have progressed roughly like a day and a half in time, right? That they have gone now back in time to the night that it happened. So you get transported back in time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you with me on this?
I'm with you.
So the time bubble is transporting things back in time. Do you think, because that is such a huge pile of shit in Mel's yard in the beginning of this film, that the T-Rex took a shit in Mel's backyard, and that shit had Ewan McGregor in it, and so then Ewan McGregor got transported back in time into Mel's yard as a giant pile of shit? That's my real question.
Well, here's my real question.
Is that pile of shit Ewan McGregor? And if so, does that count as foreshadowing?
Well, here's my question, Kim. Let me counter this with another gripe I had.
Okay.
We see the bubble that Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway find, and when it disappears,
they throw a plate through it.
It's created a perfect sphere of stuff it's destroyed.
Yeah.
So how did that poop get there with no damage to the yard? How did that bubble do that and not take out a chunk of the yard?
I think the bubble...
how come the yard looked the same? How come it didn't look like a prehistoric yard?
Hear me out. The bubble appeared just above where the yard is.
And it dropped it?
The dinosaur was pooping into the bubble.
Fair. What about the plant that's perfectly planted in that lady's backyard?
The bubble only dropped a seed from a plant.
Oh, and it grew in 2 days?
And it grew in 2 days, yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what, Kevin? You've convinced me. This is the best movie I've ever seen with my own two eyeballs.
I knew it. Do you think that's Ewan McGregor in the pile of poop?
Probably. I mean, that poop's a good metaphor for this movie.
So is that foreshadowing that he's going to get killed by the T-Rex?
It's foreshadowing for the movie, a big pile of shit. So
this movie's not a big pile. You can't say that.
It's not a big pile
Thank
of shit.
you. Yeah.
It's bad, though.
I feel like you should admit this movie was fun.
Will it make you feel better if I say it was fun?
No, I don't want to force your hand. I don't want to force you to say something you don't believe.
Okay,
if you
good, because I wasn't going to.
That's allowed. I think this is going to go down as the movie. You know what? I'm going to have to rewatch it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like in a movie like this, when I rewatch it, usually my rating goes down.
You know what we should do,
Usually.
Kevin?
I don't want to have the expectation, though.
I know
What?
what we should do.
What?
Next year, when I come visit you, we should do
Yeah.
a commentary over this movie.
Where it's just us arguing over
Yeah.
whether it's
Yeah.
good or not. Yeah, let's do a commentary where we just argue for an hour and a half over the movie, but then agree on Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor being phenomenal. I'm down for that. So
That's all my thoughts.
combining our ratings, I would say that this movie is in the
High fun?
upper
Low
level
good?
of fun. Upper level of fun. Now, I would actually say, because you've called it bad, this movie is in the upper level of fun for most people. I recommend seeing it in theaters. How about that?
I would recommend going to see this in theaters too. I saw it in IMAX.
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
think, again, like, I'm not the kind of person that goes, I didn't like this movie, you shouldn't go see it. I didn't like this movie,
Yeah.
you should go establish your own opinions. The things
Yeah.
I disliked, you might like. The things I liked, you might not. I think if you like dinosaur movies, if you like family adventure, if you don't really care about some of the stuff that I was griping about, then I think you'll have fun. I think, again, my biggest problem is I was really excited for this and I wanted something and it didn't click the box for me, but that's okay. Doesn't make the movie bad overall.
Yeah,
bad
and
for
I
me.
think this movie was great.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's how we operate
Yep.
here.
I actually told everybody that I talked to yesterday to go see it. I was like, you should go see that movie. It's really good.
It was really hard for me not to send you a voice message that was like 8 minutes long explaining why I didn't like it, but I wanted to save it for the podcast.
Well, good. I'm glad that we got this out. This is our most contentious movie ever. On
but
the Unpop
another scene I
podcast.
didn't like was when the girl
Oh.
goes into the car and puts in the cassette tape and plays like a pop song and starts crying to it. I was like, that doesn't work.
That was a very real moment, actually, because that's something. Okay, maybe Odie, you don't have a memory of this, but a lot of times when you were a kid in like the 80s or 90s, and this was true through the 90s, you would go and turn your parents' car on and just listen to the radio. And so I have a memory of being at a family barbecue that I didn't want to be at and going and sitting in my mom's car for like a half an hour and just listening to the radio.
Well then, I guess this movie is garbage. Let's go on. I'm just kidding. Let's move
What's
on to
your jam?
jams.
What do you got?
I have two jams for you.
Yep.
Ted Lasso season 4.
What?
2 episodes are out.
Really?
Yep.
That happened fast. Jesus.
It's good.
Oh, good.
It's really
well,
good.
I mean, yeah, I would hope and expect it to be
It's
good. Like
very
everybody in that space is just there. You want to talk about wholesome vibes. You want to talk about good family dynamics. Come on, Ted
It's-
Lasso, baby.
Honestly, I think they're setting up a season really well. I'm hoping, and I think that they need to definitely do more than just season 4. I'm hoping they'll do at least one more season to flush this out because I think
That'd be cool.
they're on a really good track for this like women's team. Oh, excuse me, I had to burp. Team. I was trying to keep the burp in, and that did not work. I think they do a really good job setting up the women's team. They introduce like a new Nathan Shelley-esque assistant coach character. Roy
Cool.
Kent's back. It's really good,
Cool.
and I think it makes sense that like people like Jamie and other players from the last seasons aren't there because it's not focused on them. And I think we'll get them to pop up. I think they'll pop up in an episode, but that's it.
I'd love a Jamie cameo. Like he
Me
learned
too.
a lot. He became a better guy. Like here's the thing. All the characters in Ted Lasso are just so lovable. Like I feel like if you don't like Ted Lasso, you have some stuff to unpack. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Ted Lasso is one of those shows. Like if someone's like, "Oh, I hate that show," I'd be like, "Wow, are you in therapy right now?" Because you probably should be. Or you should watch that show because there's a lot of therapy-like moments in it.
There is this whole show is therapy.
Yeah, pretty much.
My other jam for you real quick is a little tiny artist who covered a Bring Me the Horizon song.
Very tiny
So
artist.
small.
The tiniest artist you could ever imagine.
Nah, she's just a little bit newer on the scene as far as I can tell.
Tiny.
It looks like most of her stuff was released this year. She did. She covered the song. She only does covers right now. She covered "Doomed" by Bring Me the Horizon and was brought on stage to sing it with them at one of their concerts. It's an artist known as Mafra. I would highly recommend Maphra checking out her cover of "Doomed." It is just as good as the Bring Me the Horizon version. I think that she will hopefully come out with some of her own music soon. But she really impressed me. Very big fan of that cover and worth checking out.
Cool.
That's
I got 2 jams for you. Star Wars: The Ninth Jedi. Star Wars Visions presents The Ninth Jedi. I watched the first episode. Pretty promising. Definitely leaning more into like a classic Star Wars feel. It takes place after the Skywalker saga, so don't stress too much. I don't think you have to watch too much Star Wars to really get it, or if you're a Star Wars fan, just go enjoy it. It's fun. It's animated, so that might be, a limiting factor for some people, but you know me, I love a good anime.
Star Wars is epic when it's animated. You can do so much.
Yeah. And then Slowjoy, the band, have released their newest album, Esteban Flores. It just came out yesterday. Slowjoy makes me so happy because I feel like I hear this band and I'm like, yes, the economy's so bad that people are making grunge again. Got it. Like, they're very alternative, very grunge, which feels like early 90s, even some of like the later 90s grunge that we got from like Silverchair and stuff like that. Lot of fun. Lyrics are fun. Really cool to listen to. If you like alternative grunge or something that has a little like dirtiness to it, like old school Pearl Jam, Nirvana, stuff like that. Like, it definitely has that feel. So highly recommend checking out Slowjoy's Esteban Flores. And that's it for this week, baby. Thank you to all of our listeners for listening to another episode of the UnPop Podcast. Thank you for weathering this absurd existence with us. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about our mental health, subpoenas. Oh, wait, we have to address something real quick.
I don't have time.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. We can. My computer is going to die, but we need to. We can address this
Odie,
now.
A man has asked to be on this podcast this week via email, so we should address this.
Okay, I want to talk about this for more than just the fact that this person asked. We've gotten asked before, right?
We've been asked, I think, 3 times now by people to be on the podcast.
There's my mic. Here's the thing. The other people that have asked have named our podcast in the email, but this person just says, I listened to your recent episode, and I really liked it. I'm reaching out to help, blah, blah, blah. Happy to share other episodes' ideas. But here's the thing. Never once does he mention the name of our podcast.
Nope.
Which tells me, I don't think this person's actually
spam.
Listening to
Might
our
not
podcast.
even be a real person.
It might not be. I mean, his website's real, but I feel like if you want to be on our podcast, name the podcast so I know you're not a bot.
I feel like this guy had a bot send out this email, but it's basically a finance bro has asked to come on the podcast to talk about HELOCs specifically and DSCRT loans, right? Something like that. I don't know.
Something like that. I don't fucking know.
But if anybody is interested in financial analysis for HELOCs specifically, which are home equity loans, or for DSCRT, whatever the fuck that is, loans. Feel free to let us know, fans of the podcast. We'll bring him on. And you know what? We'll have him talk about Boiler Room, the movie with Giovanni Ribisi and Vin Diesel, or The Wolf of Wall Street, because that's what I most readily think of when I think of shit like that. Yeah, this is the second guy in recent months who's asked to be on. The other person who asked to be on was a close-up magician. And I think after I emailed back that we don't have a visual component to the podcast, which might present some issues, but we'd love to have him on to talk about a movie, he just didn't even get back to us. I was like, we can talk about a movie if you want. And he was like, yeah,
we can talk about practical magic.
we can talk about practical magic. We can talk about any movie that has magic in it at all. Like,
now you
bring
see
him
me.
on bring him in as an expert. We'll just chat about some magic. This is weird. If you know somebody in your life who would like to be on a podcast, feel free to have them email us, and then we will send something back, and they probably won't respond. Thank you, everybody, for weathering
you already said
the
all this.
absurdity of this podcast. Please send people who want to be on this absurd podcast with us our way. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, people who want to be on the podcast with us, or subpoenas, feel free to email mysecretpoweris@gmail.com. All options will be considered.
Sure. Considered. Yeah. Looked
Art
at.
by FrankAce.
For sure.
Music by moi. Make sure to join us next week when we talk about...
Oh, Kevin, we're going to talk about Flip of a Coin.
What?
But there's 2 movies coming out, and I'm prepared this time. And I was prepared last week, but you didn't let me do it. We got Doomsday coming out and Spider-Man 5 next week. No, wait, that's wrong. We've got Mutiny with Jason Statham, and then we've got the movie Tony, which is the Anthony Bourdain biopic. So,
Odie, why don't you go find a coin to flip? I'm going to take us out of here.
Is that helping?
Yeah, that's it.